Hey everybody, it's Trisha Kaufman here on 50more50less.com. Today I want to talk about something a little bit different. Instead of giving you some examples on how you could burn 50 calories or some examples on how you could save 50 calories, today I want to talk a little bit behind why we eat. I'm reading this book called Eating the Moment, and it's from written by a clinical psychologist who gives you 141 mindful practices to overcome overeating one meal at a time. And basically, his approach is the mindful, not mouthful approach to eating. So it kind of makes you think about why you eat, when you eat, and centers you more on the reasons why we eat. And he identifies three reasons why we eat. First, to satisfy the needs of the body. So basically that means for fuel. You need calories or food to do your everyday activities, to make breakfast, to cook, to clean, to work, to walk around. You need fuel to do that. The second reason he identifies why we eat is to satisfy the needs of the mind. And he kind of gives three reasons why your mind needs it: for entertainment, for comfort, or distraction. And lastly, he says we eat out of habit. Basically, he says we're triggered to eat by the environment, and there's a stimulus that we have done repeatedly that links us to the act of eating. It's a stimulus-response relationship. It's almost like the psychology studies back in the day with the bell and the dog by Pavlov. You hear the bell ring, and it causes the dog to salivate. So basically, you go to a place and it causes you to eat. When I read this, it really jumped out at me, and I really started thinking about what environments trigger me to eat. And the first one that came to mind was, as a child, twice a year my mom would give us money to buy clothing, once in the beginning of the school year and then once in probably the winter. And when we went shopping for clothes, we would go to the mall. And at the mall, every time she would buy us a pretzel, so we'd all get pretzels. So now as an adult, every time I go to the mall, I go back to that memory and I think of pretzels, and I feel like, ooh, I want a pretzel. That would sound really delicious. And it's not that I'm hungry. So a lot of times, I will have eaten right before going to the mall, and it's not that I'm actually hungry. It's just that the environment itself triggers me to eat. It also has a lot of different smells and a lot of different other things that trigger me to eat. And so now when I go to the mall, I have to ask myself, am I hungry? I know when I go there, I'm going to want to eat. What am I going to do? Am I going to eat or am I not going to eat? And it kind of keeps me in check about whether I really need to eat or whether I'm just letting the environment control me instead of me controlling my environment. So I want you guys to think about maybe some environments that trigger you, and then post a comment down below and kind of get the discussion going. And I think it's really important that people make comments. I know I keep kind of suggesting that people do that, but I think it's really important that people start talking to each other about it, and it helps each other. We support each other along the way. So leave a comment down below about an environment that triggers you to eat. And I'm going to also keep reflecting and see if I can identify a couple other places or environments that trigger me to eat as well. So I'm going to sign off by saying, this is Trisha Kaufman. What's your 50 more and 50 less? See you next week. Or no, tomorrow. Come back tomorrow.